This video is going to look at dimensional analysis, which is an idea that we use a lot in chemistry, especially when we need to convert between units. Whenever we need to do a conversion, we need a conversion factor. So this is when we say that one unit is equal to another unit. For example, when we say that there's 1 inch will equal 2.54 centimeters, we're saying that those are equal to each other. We can set those up as a fraction. So this 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. The division bar is kind of like your equal sign, or it's also equally true to say 2.54 centimeters is equal to the 1 inch. So you can set up the conversion factor either way, and it depends on what unit you're trying to cancel and what unit you're trying to reach. We need to practice writing conversion factors that relate to each other. So if we wanted to go from liters to milliliters, this is where we need to know our metric conversions. And so I'm going to give you a table that I would expect you to know. We need to know the most common metric prefixes: kilo, hecta, deca. We have our base unit, and then deci, centi, and milli. Now, when we are looking at our base unit, we would have things like grams, liters, or meters. Those are base units. And the rest of these are just prefixes. So you could have a kilogram, a decagram, centigram, so on. If we want to go from liters to milliliters, right here we're at liters is our base unit, and then we want to get to milliliters, which is over here. And notice that it's 1, 2, 3 kind of jumps 3 spaces away. So we would say that 1 milliliter, and I'm putting the 1 with, sorry, that would be inaccurate. I'm going to put 1 with the liter, and the reason I'm doing that is because liter is the larger. This chart, these prefixes are getting bigger as we go over to our left. So 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters, and again I got the 1,000 because it took 1, 2, 3 jumps to go from liters to milliliters. Or the conversion is equally true if we put 1,000 milliliters on the top and say that that's equal to 1 liter. So that's one of your conversions. We have hours to minutes. This is a common one. We know how many hours are in, or how many minutes are in an hour, sorry. We know that for every 1 hour we have 60 minutes. We just set that up as a fraction, and again that fraction bar is saying equals, and or we could say 60 minutes is also equal to 1 hour. So we can set conversions up either way. Again, let's try another one with our prefixes, meters to kilometers. Go ahead and try this one, and you should get, after you've given it a look, meters here is our base, and we're going to kilo, which is 1, 2, 3 steps away. But now kilometer is the larger unit, so it's going to get the 1. 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. Or you could say 1,000 meters is equal to 1 kilometer. So if we put these conversion factors to use, this is how we would do this. Let's say that you have $7.25 in your pocket. It's all quarters. You want to know how many quarters you have. No, you don't get to take it out and count them. We need to mathematically figure this out using our conversions. So we are going to set up a math problem. We're going to say that we have $7.25, and we want to convert dollars to quarters. So we would set up a conversion that says 4 quarters is equal to $1. And we could say $1 is equal to 4 quarters, but the reason that we're setting up the conversion this way is because in math, when you have a common unit on the bottom of the division bar and on the top, you can cancel those units and they can go away. So dollars will cancel because we have on the top and the bottom, and that leaves us with the only unit we have left, which is quarters. So that's going to be our unit, and 7.25 times 4 will give us 29. Let's try another one here. Now we're going to go from minutes. How many minutes are in 2.54 hours? We already know that there's 60 minutes in an hour, and we need hours because anytime you have 2.5 hours or some unit here, it's all over 1. So this is really on the top of our division bar, and we also have hours on the bottom, so those will cancel and go away, leaving us with the only unit we have left, which is minutes. And mathematically we need to take 2.5 times 60 and then divide that by 1, and you should get 150 minutes. Now for each of these, I'd like you to pause the video and give them a try, and then come back to the video, check and make sure that you're right. And we're going to go ahead and work each of these out. You can check your work. We have 2.44 meters, and we want to convert that to centimeters. So we're going to start with what we know, and that is that we have 2.44 meters. And we need a conversion factor. We need to be able to say meters to centimeters, how are those equal to each other? And if you look back at the list of prefixes that I gave you on a previous slide, we know that meters is the larger unit. We also want meters to be able to cancel because it's right here on the top, so we want meters to go on the bottom. And we're going to put 1 with that because it's larger than centimeters. And for meters to centimeters, it is 2 places or 2 jumps, so that's 100 centimeters. Meters is going to cancel and go away, and you are left with 244 centimeters as your final answer. Try how many seconds are in 1.4 days. Now this problem is not going to be just a simple one-step problem, and the reason for that would be that if you know how many days, how many seconds are in a day, then you are better than me. I would need to calculate that. There's not a quick and easy conversion between days and seconds, but I do know how many hours are in a day. So sometimes you might have to break this up into multiple steps. For instance, I know that there are 24 hours in a day. My days will cancel, and that gets me a little bit closer, but I want seconds, and right now I'm at hours. So I need to continue. Now I want hours to go away, and we need a conversion to go hours to what's the most common unit of time that comes next, and I would say probably minutes. Okay, we know that there's 60 minutes in an hour, so hours will cancel, and we're left with minutes, which we still do not want. So we need minutes to cancel, and now we can get to seconds. And we know that there's 60 seconds in 1 minute. So we have achieved the unit we're looking for, seconds. Now mathematically, we need to put in our calculator 1.4 times 24 times 6 times 6. And whatever that number is, we're going to divide it by 1. All of our bottom numbers are 1. So we would have 120,960 seconds. Now if that's the number that you reported to me, it would be incorrect. And the reason for that is we need to look at significant digits. Now when we're looking at these conversions, we're not going to look at the significant digits of those because those are absolute values, and so those don't really count for significant digits. So when you're converting from one number to another, you are really just looking at how many significant digits are in your original problem, and that's how many you're allowed to keep in your final answer. So in this case 1.4 has 2, so that means we're allowed 2 significant digits in our answer. Our answer cannot be 12. There are not 12 seconds in 1.4 days. We do need to keep zeros as placeholders, so really we're just rounding. We would have 120,000 seconds if we're keeping with the significant digits. One last